our right. And today is our first congressional briefing. And we have our special guest here. We Biafrans are familiar with who he is. He's someone who advocates for freedom, human rights, and also religious rights. We have our special guest, Marco Ruby. And Ruby is Senior Fellow, American Enterprise Institute. Thank you, Marco.
Thank you very much, Mr. Acting Prime Minister. I don't need, first of all, it's good to see Biafra represented so well in Washington, D.C. Unlike in Nigeria, and unlike in Finland, we're not going to arrest dissidents.
And the first way to do that is to question and minimize the statistics. You will hear often, and this is what the Nigeria's foreign minister says, that there are no more Christians than Muslims that have been killed by terrorists. It's a lie. The truth is that over 60,000 Christians have been murdered by Boko Haram and Fulani jihadists since 2009. And the highest estimate of moderate Muslims killed in that time is 10,000. Now, there have been many other Muslims, especially killed by Boko Haram, before that. Moderate Muslims are also the enemy of Boko Haram. But Fulani jihadists have really concentrated on Christians. And they target Christian villages and schools, but they leave Muslim villages and schools untouched. The second way to deny genocide is to attack the motivations of the truth tellers. You dismiss the charges as products of election year politics in America or of anti-Islamic Christians for Africa. Listen, I've lived in Africa for at least 10 years. That is a racist argument, because what I know is Africans are among the best Christians in the world if you know Africans. And they're also among the best Muslims in the world if you know Muslims. And I have lived in both Muslim and Christian countries. Fifth, you rationalize the deaths as a result of Nigerian history. You say the conflict between the Fulanis and other ethnic groups in Nigeria dates back over 2 centuries to the Sokoto Caliphate of Osman Dan Fodio in the early 19th century. So the Fulani Jihad is really just a continuation that you must expect. It was the Fulani who forcibly converted the Hausa and other northern Nigerians to Islam. And it was only really stopped by the British colonialism and Christian missionaries. Well, Boko Haram and Fulani basically are saying that this was colonialism, and they are simply carrying out a decolonization process. Excuse me. Get my shaky hands to work. I'll be 80 this summer.
Amen.
Sorry. So that argument says these are age-old tribal conflicts between cattle herders and farmers, and so there's really not much you can do about them. The sixth way to deny genocide is to blame out-of-control forces for committing the killings. You claim that the killings are by bandits or undefined terrorists. Claim that their motivation is to profit from ransoms paid by families of kidnapped victims. Deny that there is any religious aspect to the genocide of Christians. This shifting of blame denies responsibility of the tactic is demonstrated in the absence of any UN Security Council resolutions or Human Rights Council resolutions condemning this genocide. The Nigerian government blames the killings on bandits and terrorists, doesn't ever define religion or any of the other characteristics that show this is in fact a genocide. And UN and academic spokespeople blame these killings on bandits and terrorists, and even demand that the Nigerian government disarm the terrorists and bring their leaders to justice, when in fact the Fulani jihadists obtain their weapons from corrupt Nigerian generals. Not one major Fulani or Boko Haram leader has been arrested or tried. Seventh, you avoid antagonizing the Nigerian government, because after all, we have to get along with the Nigerian government. And this is a real politic argument, and it's very typical of diplomats, by the way. I was a diplomat, so I know. You don't want to make an enemy of governments that you're really dependent on working with. So don't upset this new president, President Tinubu, and we want to get along with him. Meanwhile, the displacement of Christians from central and northern Nigeria proceeds. Genocidal massacres, kidnapping from schools, and rapes continue weekly. And this argument, which diplomats love, ignores the fact that genocidists are serial killers. Policies toward them based on fear lead only to appeasement and further genocide. The eighth way to deny a genocide is to deny it in favor of current economic interests. We depend on Nigeria for oil, and Europe depends even more on Nigeria for oil. So the oil companies certainly oppose an arms embargo on Nigerian government, and Nigeria is a source of oil for both American and European countries. So here we are, a major supplier of arms to the Nigerian government. The UK also is a supplier of arms, and it is also one of the key owners of parts of the Nigerian oil fields. Then the ninth version, by the way, these 12 tactics of genocide you can see on our website, because they apply to every genocide I've ever seen. Sudan and Darfur and so forth. It's been used by other countries as well. The ninth tactic is to claim that the victims are really receiving good treatment, that they also are, being cared for in Nigerian IDP camps and so forth. Well, unfortunately, that is not true, because unfortunately, these IDP camps are very unsafe. The 10th way, and I'm a lawyer, so this is the one that really hits me, is to deny that it fits, that this, what's going on, fits the definition of genocide. This is what I call definitionalism. It's very common among lawyers and policymakers and journalists. They want to avoid any implication that this genocide is happening, because after all, is it really a genocide? Amnesty International won't call it that, and nor will the UN Secretary General or the European Union. So here are some of the problems with it. First of all, there's a common misconception that a finding of genocide would legally require action to suppress it. Unfortunately, the Genocide Convention doesn't demand that. It was what kept us from realizing it was a genocide for 3 months during the beginning of the Rwandan genocide. I was in the State Department then, and denial was just rampant. They refused to call it a genocide for over 3 months. That's well known now. That's part of it. They thought they'd have to act if they had called it that. But it doesn't have, there's no legal compulsion to act. Secondly, in the denial, you have this misconception that genocide always means all or none. In other words, that only genocides of the whole, where you're trying to kill everybody in a group, qualify as genocides. But that is not true. The Genocide Convention itself says the genocide is the intentional destruction in whole or in part of a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group as such. In other words, in part is enough for it to be a genocide, and that's what's happening in Nigeria. And in fact, one of the types of genocide is what we call genocide by attrition. where, in other words, the genocide isn't instantaneous. It happens over time. And in fact, that's what's happening in Nigeria. Helen Fine, a really great theorist about genocide, says it is the most common type of genocide. We also have a problem with this word, genocide, because it has, ever since Milosevic, been replaced many places by the term ethnic cleansing, which was, it was a euphemism that Milosevic invented to cover up genocide in Bosnia. And this whole term is common enough that you see it used more in news articles now than the word genocide. In fact, there is no law against ethnic cleansing. There is no treaty against it. There is a treaty against genocide. And in fact, what we found, and we've done an empirical study of this, is whenever the term genocide is the dominant term used to describe a situation, there will not be forceful action to stop it. But as soon as the term genocide becomes the dominant term, and you can read an article that we wrote about this, as soon as genocide becomes the dominant term, then it makes forceful action to stop it possible. And that is in fact what happened finally when we recognized that, for instance, in Kosovo, when David Sheffer called it genocide, near the beginning of it, suddenly we were bombing Belgrade, and Serbia surrendered. That is the type of action that is needed here. We don't need bombing, by the way, in this case. I would strongly argue against it, because you can't defeat a terrorist genocide using bombing. You have to have people on the ground, and they have to defeat it on the ground. And that is why, really, stopping this is up to Nigerians. It is not up to us, it's up to Nigerians, and we have to support them. The
very clear. This podcast is not an attack on American lobbies who are just doing their job. It is not an attack on consultants who are just taking care of their families. This is an indictment of a failed Nigerian political strategy, of a failed Tinubu strategy. And yes, it is also an indictment of the talkative Senate president, Godswill Obot Akpabio, who is implicated here. Because when a government spends $9 million to explain itself abroad, a poor African country, it has already admitted that it has failed at home. Failed woefully. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your Film Aqua show on YouTube. Today, we separate facts from opinions, policy failure from public relation panic. This is a scandal. It is a terrible scandal that Tinubu is now begging with $9 million in Washington, D.C. Issue 1. Let's go with confirmed facts. Confirmed facts. Facts. According to a report by the Africa Report, Nigeria hired DCI Group for a $9 million lobbying contract. That is about $750,000 per month. $750,000 a month. In Naira, do you know how much it is? More than 1 billion every single month. Man. Now, wow. In a country with multidimensional poverty. The contract was signed via Aster Legal on behalf of Nigeria's National Security Advisor, no Ribadu. Ribadu again. The hypocritic Ribadu again. Fact. The stated purpose, is to convince Washington that Nigeria is serious about protecting Christians and countering terrorism. Fact. This is the largest known African lobbying contract in history, on record. These facts are not in dispute. They are not. Issue 2. Ribadu, hypocrisy and credibility. This is my opinion. This is the opinion of Ofiankwa. Now, let me tell you clearly that, in my view, Ribadu is not being truthful with President Trump about the depth of Nigeria's religious violence crisis and the collapsing Nigerian state. As Nigerians will say, They lie. They lie. Many Nigerians, including respected voices, accuse Ribadu of being an enabler or at minimum a silent bystander for years in the face of Islamic extremism. Let me give one example that haunts Nigeria. I'm not aware, and I stand to be corrected. I stand to be corrected that no Ribadu said a single public word. When Deborah Samuel was brutally murdered by his classmates in Sokoto for saying in the class that she was a born-again Christian, she was murdered for that blasphemy. There was no national outrage from those greedy politicians in Nigeria. There was no moral clarity from no Ribadu. So when Washington is told that, Nigeria is protecting Christians, so my questions are simple. Protecting them when? When? In 2026? Protecting them where? And who is speaking for the dead here? Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a PR problem. This is a credibility problem. The Nigerian state is very weak and very hypocritical. That is the issue here. Issue 3. The lobbies, I repeat, the lobbies are not the problem at all. Let me be fair. The lobbies are just innocent professionals doing their job. As a matter of fact, I know about some of them. Some of them are actually very good people. They are not criminals. They are not responsible for Nigeria's failures. So when Nuhu Ribadu take 9 million to go and beg them, that is Nuhu Ribadu's problem. As serious people, though, I would request from the lobbies that they should do one thing first. They should listen to Christian victims in Benue. In Benue, in the Middle Belt. Listen to families in Plateau. Listen to survivors in Southern Kaduna. Listen to the 3 Catholic bishops that were murdered in cold blood by Islamic terrorists. No amount of talking points can erase lived trauma. This is not messaging. This is blood on the ground. Blood on the ground. Thousands, tens of thousands have died. Issue 4. I don't even think this will work, in my opinion. Now, this is my judgment, and I own it. This lobbying effort will not work. Why? I'll give you a reason, the reasons. Because Donald Trump has criticized Nigerian leadership before. Since his first term, he brought in Buhari to the White House, who looked like a dead man. Former President Muhammadu Buhari later recounted after that meeting that during his 2018 White House visit, Trump asked him directly, why are you killing Christians? This was asked to the Nigerian president. This is like Trump was in power in 2019 the first time. A claim Buhari himself made public in a 2020 interview that tells you everything. It looked like this Magnitsky Act that is used to stop these greedy Nigerian politicians from getting visa. Is yielding fruit. It will sanction them. It will not allow them bring their children to come and study in the US. Big men now are sweating. They don't want consequences that follow them or their children. That's why they're taking $9 million of Nigerian money and coming to spend to beg in Washington, D.C. Issue 5, the street verdict. I talked to a lot of people. Let me read a quote, because Nigerians are very upset. Let me read a quote from a prominent Nigerian observer. Quote, this quote reflects public sentiment. Quote, they just chopped their money, $9 million. Over $100 million was wasted over the past 11 days in the US. It was a dollar fest, this lobbying. That lobbying firm would not do anything. The next strike at the terrorists is just around the corner. Unquote. That means Trump is coming again. This is not academic analysis. Sokoto is not the end. This is straight realism. I am quoting the streets. I'm not telling you. I'm quoting the streets. Issue 6. Godswill Akpabio and the scandal shadow. This guy has no credibility. The Senate President Godswill Akpabio, and credibility matters in today's world. Separate U.S. filings show lobbying linked to letters written on behalf of Senate President Godswill Akpabio. Letters. Akpabio is publicly tarred with scandal. The guy is a moving scandal. EFCC indictments that are still there. They are unresolved corruption allegations. A deeply contested political reputation. He has attacked from everybody, including his own. You cannot convince Washington you are serious about reform Why your messengers symbolize impunity? All you have to do is to look at God's way. Is that the person representing Nigeria? Look at his problem. Natasha, all this problem is all people are screaming at him. Issue 7, poverty versus priorities. Here is the moral obscenity. Nigeria is ranked among the world's worst countries for multi-dimensional poverty. Millions without food, health care, education, or security. Yet, this government found $9 million using Ribadu's company and his people, or whatever is used, not to protect Nigerians, but to explain failure to Washington. That is not leadership. That is elite self-preservation. The big men in Nigeria are now in a protective mode. They want to dodge Trump so that they can continue. This is my closing final judgment. Let me end very clearly. Fact. Nigeria hired U.S. lobbyists for $9 million. Fact. The goal is to reshape U.S. perception, to lie. In my opinion, no, to the U.S. opinion. This will not stop U.S. pressure. This will not erase failure, governance failure. This will not silence the dead. Because legitimacy is earned on the ground. You cannot purchase it on Care Street. Not on Care Street. This is the official question on YouTube. I am the voice of the voiceless. I am your independent voice documenting what power hopes will stay quiet. I am telling fearless truths. I am Ofyong Akwa. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Make we go.
A minute of silence to the fallen heroes of Biafra, and the time starts now. We mourn our heroes past, we celebrate them and our heroes living as we continue to fight on to see that Biafra is fully restored. Ise, 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 Ise. Yes, greetings to everyone, and you're all welcome to yet another wonderful afternoon, evening, morning, night, and day, depending on your time zone. We salute our leaders that have lived before us and all their sacrifices. And our leaders that are in prison, we salute them and all their sacrifices as well. We salute all Biafrans who are doing the needful to make sure that we continue to raise the flag of Biafra very high above sea level. We salute our PM, His Excellency Honorable Okechukwu Nkere. We salute all cabinet of Brgie and the de facto in the homeland, our BDF and all Biafrans. We salute all of you. and we appreciate all your sacrifices. Let us do more so that the cry of the enemies of Biafra will intensify. The media team, I salute all of you, and all of you in the media that are doing tremendous work. I salute you all because putting all your efforts together gives us the result and the success that we have. Please, if you're listening from TikTok, if you can't hear us, let us know in the comment section so that we know what to do. I believe we are coming out on all platforms. You can hear us from TikTok, you can hear us from Facebook, you can hear us from Twitter, X, you can hear us from YouTube. So anyone that is remaining now, we will still try to connect. And very soon you will hear us from our radio in the homeland again. And the television. That is, if one Nigeria allow you to have electricity to watch television, but you will be able to make use of the radio with battery inside to be able to hear our voices. Salute all of you. Yes, those that did not believe in what BRGIE has on the table will never believe or give BRGIE the glory, even when the ground is dug and they are buried. While you are burying them, they will not still give the glory to BRGIE, because something that was done to them is that they will remain as a curse. Yes. There are people that were created to remain as curse, not as blessing to humanity. So if you had happened to be amongst those that were designed to be as curse and not as blessing to humanity, we cannot help you because you continue to be useless. Yes. While others are lining up to make good result, you will be angry about the good result. The topic of our program tonight says support BRGIA for Biafra restoration, Biafra recognition. Support BRGIA so that we can be able to intensify more sanctions on Nigeria and the European Commission to the release of our leaders in prison. And for us to get Biafra, we need to intensify our effort. And then there is a message there in quote. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not lead Biafra from prison. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped since 2021 June. And since that time, he did not lead Biafran people from prison. That means there was need for there to be leadership that will move us forward. Because if you were to wait for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to lead us from prison, it will have compounded his imprisonment for more than the way they portrayed it. How many of you remember when Nigerian Terrorist Court of Nigeria were pronouncing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu death sentence and life imprisonment? They made reference that Mazi Simon Ekpa, being his a loyalist, was also imprisoned because of the cause of Biafra. And so because Finland have imprisoned him, they have to also imprison his master. And not just to imprison his master, but that they have to kill his master in Nigeria. So tell me, if his master was the one leading Biafra from inside prison or giving orders to the Biafran from inside prison, what would have been his fate? What kind of orders will you be hearing from him from inside prison? The orders you will be hearing from him is that you should not do sit at home. He did not order sit at home. Aha! You should not stop anybody from trying to sabotage Biafra. You should not hold the criminal politicians, the slave boys, accountable for putting him inside prison. You should not hold any of the sabo groups that are arising to sabotage and destroy the essence of Biafra independence. Every of our leaders must always speak under duress for as far as they are behind bars and they have gun pointed on their head. You cannot have gun pointed on your head and then you will speak confidently. No, you will speak according to the compulsion that is given to you because you are under duress and you must act in a way that will not place the people that are free out here. You will act in a way that is given to you subject to the pressure that you find yourself. So after the election of the new prime minister and after the official sworn-in ceremony, we have seen series of mad people emanating from the toilet. You know, mad people and useless people and useful idiots and confused people of particular concerns. Many of them live inside the toilet. Yes. That is why when they come out from the toilet, their brains will be smelling. Their mouth will be smelling. Their thinking faculty will be smelling. Everything they will be saying will be smelling. It will not be making sense. Because you wouldn't imagine that a right-thinking human being, somebody that is actually alive and is walking freely, will be telling you that there is a coup against the prime minister. Hey, oh my God. I want to ask a question. Tonight's program is going to be different. How can there be a coup on a prime minister that is inside prison? Do you carry coup on somebody that is inside prison, or you carry coup on someone that is here, physically present, fighting with your two hands? I'm going to be addressing some nonsensical messages that I have seen so far. Can you carry coup? And the line will be open later. I will post out the link for ministers of the government to join and air their views. And also every Biafran that want to join the studio to air their views. The studio link will be open so you can come in and air your views. Can you carry coup on somebody that is already in chains? When I listen to some of them, I laugh. I say, hey, imagine the level of their idiosyncrasy. Some of them say there is a coup. I saw one that say he's a broadcaster. He said that he sees that there is a coup on the prime minister in prison. I say, hey, who born this kind of dog? Will you carry coup on somebody that is already in prison, someone that they chain down, and then you say there is a coup on that person? Do you even understand the meaning of a coup? Do you understand what it means? The word coup d'etat. Do you understand what it means to carry a coup? Now, last 3 months, in Tinubu's government, some of the Nigerian military officials, they saw the level of this jihad and this Sharia and the Christian genocide going on in Nigeria, and then they planned a coup. And because the Nigerian military has already been infiltrated of Boko Haram, Nigerian government have reintegrated Boko Haram into the Nigerian military formations. That is why that coup failed. So I want to ask many of you, was that coup to topple Tinubu that is still active and working freely and can travel everywhere and is the active president in office? Or was the coup about our own leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that is in chains, that is in prison. Do you carry out coup on somebody that is inside prison? Or you carry out coup on somebody that is working freely and is in active leadership? You see, this is why when some people listen to some of you on the social media, they will just look and see that most of you don't have anything here upstairs. Because the more some of them listen to you, the more their brains get deranged. Because they will also buy the idea of the nonsense that you have all uttered. I can't imagine somebody that will open a platform and then is telling people that a coup in the election of a new prime minister in Brgie, that a coup happened. The coup was carried on who? You carry coup on somebody that's inside prison, somebody that's already imprisoned. You say you carry coup. Hey, please. Some of you should not be talking on the social media and be claiming to. Anyway, many of you are just doing content to make money. That is why when you come, you spend maybe 10 minutes on that video. It is a pre-recorded video. You prepare yourself and you come, you're just there talking nonsense because you don't even know what to say, because your mind has been blended to somewhere. You have been told to come and fire only this side, but you cannot use your sense of reasoning to go and reason first. What is the meaning of the word coup? Can a coup be carried on somebody that is already in prison? What was that person leading or in charge of inside prison that you now say you carry coup? If you say we carry coup, then the coup should be done inside prison now. Are you trying to tell us that the person inside prison is the leader of the prison? Then we now go and carry coup inside prison to topple the person inside prison, to take his position inside prison. Chai! Hello, Meru. Some of you need deliverance in your brains. All of you calling yourselves content creators, you need deliverance in your brains. Thousands and many reasons why Biafran people must have a leading figure. Now, listen to this.
Biafra-linked groups are also lobbying, a confidential wrote. On the other side, Biafra-linked groups are also lobbying Washington, calling for sanctions, recognition, and even future military and oil deals. I mean, how seriously are these groups being taken in U.S. policy circles?
Well, serious enough that you've got people like Ted Cruz, who...
How are these Biafran people being taken serious in Washington, D.C.? Did you hear the question? And did you get the answer? Serious enough that even a leading senator that is in charge of a committee that has to do with foreign affairs decisions, policy makers, are so inclined to their cause because they have educated them. So those idiots and those confused people of particular concern, which we really need to be concerned about their brain because their brains are damaged. I don't know if you had your prime minister or your supreme leader inside prison, and then Senator Cruz is having meeting with that your prime minister inside prison. I don't know. Then from there, you now have these results whereby analysts are asking questions, and they are asking, how effective is this Biafra Republic government in exile in Washington, D.C. You see, most of you that look down on us do not grade our effectiveness. But the U.S. foreign policy makers are giving you the grade. They are giving you the ratings of what Biafra Republic government in exile are doing and the result it is yielding on daily basis. While you continue to disgrace yourself on the social media, those that knows the worth of what we are doing and the effects, the effectiveness of it, are here confessing and telling you that these people, they are not what you think. Oh, hey.
Confidential wrote. On the other side, Biafra-linked groups are also lobbying Washington, calling for sanctions, recognition, and even future military and
James, and I want
to confidential wrote. On the other side,
James,
confidential wrote. Confidential wrote. On the other confidential wrote. On the other side, Biafra-linked groups are also lobbying Washington, calling for sanctions, recognition, and even future military and oil deals. I mean, how seriously are these groups being taken in U.S. policy circles?
Well, serious enough that you've got people like Ted Cruz, who is the conservative senator who chairs the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. He's a big supporter of the Biafra government in exile. He's a big supporter, actually, of the Somaliland region in East Africa. And Mike Pompeo, who was the former Secretary of State, and that was under Trump's first term. And Pompeo is a very devout evangelical Christian, and so is Cruz, and they're combining the two things, where they're talking about the rights of the people of Southeast Nigeria, and also this issue again of protecting Christians. So yeah, they've got a lot of sway within the Republican Party, and a lot of this stuff, Charles, is about sentiment as much as anything else. It's often free from, shall we say, established facts and evidence. It's a sense that these are evangelical Christians who put that belief above all else. And the Biafran lobbyists have been extremely effective over probably 20 years, working through the religious right in the US, which brings together a lot of these.
The Biafran lobbies are particularly effective. The Biafran lobbies are particularly
confidential.
effective. The Biafran lobbies are particularly effective because if they weren't effective, Nigeria would not be looking for $9 million to go after them. So, if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was leading Biafra from prison, how could Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been able to have all these meetings and engagements with Senator Ted Cruz? If Mazi Simon Ekpa was leading the Biafran people from prison, how could he have been able to have this meeting with Senator Ted Cruz? Will Senator Ted Cruz be in America, in Washington, D.C., and then will wait for Biafran people to go and arrange meeting inside prison, and then carry the laptop and then obtain permission from the prison warrant and wait for the available date that they will grant Mazi Simon Ekpa or Mazi Nnamdi Kanu before they will now connect the computer. By that day, Senator Ted Cruz does not have such time to wait because he has too many engagements. You that actually needs the doctor is the one that need to go looking for the doctor in his or her own house. It's not the doctor that needs to come looking for you. So those that are crying and say, oh, you don't need to have an active leader in action, that you need to sit down and fold your arms and then wait for your leaders in prison until the day they come out. It is now I really understand that those of you making social trances, you were not for Biafra and you did not want us to go forward, not in any form. You did not want us to go forward in any form. You wanted the fact that Nigeria will imprison the leaders of Biafra, and then everybody will now become imprisoned in their mindset, in the administration, in the defense, in the logistics, in the diplomatic and political and international affairs. Everybody will now become imprisoned in their mind. So nobody will do anything again. They will get stuck. If your leaders in prison will say, don't hold anybody accountable that is working to destroy the Biafran cause, you will leave them. If they say, don't fight for Biafra again, wait for me until I come out, you will leave them. If they say, don't sit at home, you will leave them. Then by the time you don't do sit at home, just 1 month, you will see that Nigerian politicians will close the chapter of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, will close the chapter of Mazi Nnamdi. They will lock the key of the jail and throw it away in the lagoon. And nobody will ever remember or talk about them again or make mention of their names, because everybody have done to your tent, O Israel, because there is no sparking figure to stand out. I want to pose another question to all of them. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, he did not lead Biafra from inside prison. So why was the emergence of Mazi Simon Ekpa important? Since Mazi Nnamdi Kanu could not lead Biafra from prison, why was the emergence of Mazi Simon Ekpa important? Since Mazi Nnamdi Kanu could not lead Biafra from inside prison, he could not control Biafra or give orders, or give instructions, or give mandates, or sign papers and document or treaties. He could not conduct meetings with the US senators or strike deals with them because he was incarcerated. Since he could not do, why was the emergence of Mazi Simon Ekpa important? Why did you all tell me and Zima and Faith Ogala and Nelio Fewu that we should make Simon Ekpa the spokesperson of Biafra? Why? Because you were all looking for a leadership figure. Because after Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped and imprisoned, the idea was to make it seem like many of your brains are dead, so that you will all focus on only Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You will abandon the going forward of Biafra. Then we ignited the fire. And all of you said, oh, we need somebody to be the leadership figure as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in prison. They said we should drag Simon Ekpa out and then make him the spokesperson. And then we started the campaign till he later became the spokesperson, till we later formed a government. Why was it necessary? Why was it important for us to have a leadership figure, not depending on our leader that is imprisoned, not waiting for our leader to give us instructions and orders from inside prison. You see, when hatred consumes your brain and your mind, you can never be able to reason properly. Even when you're trying to, you will never be able to reason properly. Because that same mouth that you open your mouth and say, oh, for us to have an active leader while our leader is in prison is a good one. Now that same man, now you go see you can condemn the process of BRGI having a leader now while our other leaders are imprisoned. Because they have destroyed your brains and your minds to the extent that you can't even understand that you, that is here walking freely, you have power more than your leaders that are in prison as we speak now. Because those your leaders that are in prison cannot do anything for you now. They cannot give order or instruction from prison. They cannot talk or give a mandate of anything from prison. They are already incarcerated. Nothing that they will say will make good use of the process. And if they say anything, it will be used against them. If they were to be released in 2 years or 3 years or 5 years or 6 years, they will use what they have said where they are still waiting for the time to be released to multiply their stay again. Some of you say, we are hungry of leadership. That is where you also get it very wrong because your brains have been damaged. If you know what fighting for this Biafra means, you will not even be talking about somebody is hungry for leadership. Because what we are doing, the sacrifice that we are doing, is destroying our own lives. Yes. Do you see how the sacrifice of Biafra is destroying Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's life? Do you see how the sacrifice of Biafra is destroying Mazi Nnamdi life? Do you see how the sacrifice of Biafra is destroying even my life, that of the active PM now that you see in office, and all the officials? If you don't understand, let me explain to you. Do you see how being active in service for Biafra is destroying our life, destroying the lives of the military personnel of Biafra Defense Forces? Can they mingle with you in the community? Can they come and have party and marry with you all around? Has Biafra not destroyed their comfort and their pleasure and their easy walking about and everything that they're supposed to do? Your prime minister now, Mazi Nnamdi, cannot travel to some places anyhow because the Biafra that he has put his leg has destroyed his easy movement. He is now a prime suspect to the Nigerian terrorist government. As I day here now, I cannot travel anyhow to some places because those that we are fighting against already map us out for easy elimination. Many other officials of BRGIA, all this applies to them. So for those of you that come out and say, we want leadership, we are actually laughing at you because you don't know what we are sacrificing for Biafra. The Biafra that we are fighting for is taking more from us. It is not giving. It is taking more from us. So we are the one that is actually giving more and sacrificing our entire life for Biafra. It is not that name. Leadership in Biafra is our problem. Do you know what it means that the prime minister that we have now, Okechukwu Nkere, sacrifices his life for Biafra, sacrifices his money for Biafra, sacrifices his business for Biafra, sacrifices his family for Biafra, sacrifices his going out and coming in for Biafra, sacrifices his comfort and pleasure for Biafra? I know you will not understand. You will sit down and see many projects ongoing in this BRGI from 2022 to this day, you see that the project is made easy to go. After it was announced, after 3 months, the project is made easy to go. You don't know that there are people that sacrifice their sweat, sacrifice their money to make it happen. During the Finland Convention, Honorable Fulani went away with the ticket money that all of you paid, with my own ticket money that I paid also for the convention. Release the money, she refused to release the money. Release the money, she refused to release because they have already mapped out a plan to orchestrate a sabotage process so that it will be used against the finance minister. Series of meetings were called. The meetings are, let us balance up the account so that you can clear off the bills in Finland as people are coming in. She refused. She canceled every meeting that they are supposed to bring accounts to be balanced as people are coming into Finland. But yet, she's flying into Finland. Release the money, she doesn't want to release it. So that there will be this systematic sabotage process. Because at the end of the day, you will be asked, who is the finance minister? They will say, it's okay, Chukwunkere. They will not say, the money was in custody of Honorable Fulani, that the money was going to New Dimension. No. They will say, who is the finance minister? Just like it is happening now. Everything happening in the media. Who is the information minister? Oh, they will call Sonny. But they will not say it is tutors that should be held to account. They will not say it is a Eunice that did the thing in the media. They will not say it is a Ben Nwabo that did it, or Nwaneme, or Totiville. No. The person that the government will call is the head of that department to come and give account, to come and answer while there was a malfunction in dispatch of duty of your department. You have to take responsibility. So there have been this well planned that they will sabotage the process by stopping to release that fund to the channel which everybody were paying the money to, which the finance minister did not have control. And then release the money, they refuse. Who later looked for money from his own pocket to offset those bills, so that all of you now will have the convention. It is the same finance minister. While the main person where the money was channeled to one particular place for everybody to pay during the registration process, that person refused to release the money, so that they can now use that process to sabotage the Biafra Declaration Convention. And then they will put the blame on the finance minister, being the finance minister in his office. Now, that money that they borrowed to the government to offset that bill of the convention, have you asked whether you have paid him back that money? You have not paid him back, right? Now, when you are talking about we want leadership, I want to tell you that it is not the name that we want, but it is the load that somebody is carrying. It is that same load that our leaders in prison are carrying. That load that this prime minister is carrying, that financial burden that he went to look for. You don't know whether he used his own property as a collateral to borrow the money to come and pay for that convention. About $100 and something thousand. And up to now, he has not gotten that money back. While all of you goes about there doing propaganda since November of 2024 to January of 2026, and you're not tired of the propaganda yet. So it is not the leadership that you people are making noise about. We don't need the name leadership. It is just the sacrifice that somebody wants to do for Biafra. Okay? Some of you say, oh, we have removed Simon from Biafra. You see, some of your brains are dead and damaged. Our leaders of Biafra remain our leaders of Biafra. They are in prison. And whatever decision that we are taking now is for their own good for them to come out in no distance time. Because we are trying to make the purpose of them being in prison and being kidnapped to become useless, one, and more expensive for those that kidnap them and those that imprison them. Every measure we take now, having active leadership in the government, will tell those that kidnap them and imprison them that they are not the ones in charge making any decisions, that they have washed their hands off. So whatever you were accusing them of, you were accusing them of before. Going forward, you're not accusing them of anything that we are doing going forward. It is we that are here doing what we are doing that you should be accusing. Yes, we take responsibility for what we are doing. Not for you to go and carry the blame of what we do and put on the head of our leaders that are in prison. There is nothing our leaders in prison now will say like instruction or order that will stand because they are not in active service. They are in prison. So whatever they say, you cannot use it against them because we are not acting on what they are saying. Because they are not in active service now. So you turn the table around, you shift the attention from those that captured them and locked them up so that the narrative will change, so that they will see that the table has turned around. That is why in this very interview here, you can hear the international analyst telling you that the effectiveness of the Biafra Republic government in exile lobbies is highly recorded. Even while their former leaders are in prison, their active leaders now in service are causing more problem to Nigeria. Are you getting the point? The message shouldn't have been that their leaders that are in prison are causing problem. No, somebody in prison cannot be causing problem. That will be irregular. It is somebody that is here freely that should have the leverage to cause problem. Yes. So they wanted it to be that our leaders in prison, we will now be putting their name and say they are the one causing the problem or they are the one telling us what to do or doing it. No, we are the one doing it. When you look at them, they are talking about Senator Ted Cruz, talking about Pompey, calling different names and telling you who they are and what they do and how they align with Biafra Republic government and the meetings they have. They are having those meetings with the active leadership now, not our leader in prison. What has happened to Nigeria is happening after they have imprisoned our leaders. Then we have new leaders that are here now in service, and they are the ones giving Nigeria the woto as a returning match of what they have done to our leaders that are in prison. So a man in prison cannot be the one to fight for himself and cannot be the one to fight for you that is outside here. You are the one to fight for the man in prison to get free. So stop being unnecessarily stupid by going online, using your platform, and shaking your mouth like an incoherent almajiri, crying and talking all sort of nonsense in the name of speaking English, in the name of doing content creation. That, oh, you have carried out a coup, you have succeeded, you have sacked prime minister, you have done this, you have done that to Simon, you have done that to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You are a fool. You are a bunkum. Your brain cells, they're very empty. There is nothing inside. Because if you understand what leadership is all about, there is no how you will see that President Trump will be inside prison, and then they will say he must be leading America from inside prison. Why did they have a Secretary of State? Why did they have a Secretary of War? Why did they have a Vice President? Why did they have Secretary General of the Federation? Why did they have the Press Secretary? Why did they have everybody that is working under him? So if you belong to this school of thought of madness, please go and wake up and come back to your senses. Okay? We are calling on all Biafrans to come back from their dead brains. And those that were on the fence, come down from the fence, because there are flying bullets moving about, picking people on the fence. If you happen to be one of the victims of that flying bullet, it is your luck, oh, but our own be say, make you no be one of the victims of that flying bullet. We have our fundraising tomorrow, and we have our town hall meeting on Sunday. We call on all Biafrans to come and join hands and do what we have been doing. What we have been doing that has made Biafran people to come this far, what we have been doing that is making America to speak, what we have been doing that is making Nigeria to cry. We need to continue to do that thing that we have been doing. And all of you that are using Biafra as a name and photo of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and photo of Mazi Simon Ekpa on social media, and then you're tweeting nonsense. and you're tweeting nonsense on the social media about Biafra or against Biafra. This is from it, okay? And there is something you all must also understand. As I speak here now, I cannot speak as or like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I cannot speak like Mazi Simon Ekpa. Mazi Simon Ekpa could not speak like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu could not speak like Mazi Simon Ekpa. So don't expect our PM, Okenkere now, to speak like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or Mazi Simon Ekpa. Everybody have their different intonations and their different ways and manners of action. Donald Trump just became president of America. I believe you did not expect him to speak like Joe Biden. You did not also expect him to act like Joe Biden. Because Joe Biden is Joe Biden. Donald Trump is Donald Trump. Michael Rubin is Michael Rubin. Senator Ted Cruz is Senator Ted Cruz. So they cannot carry the same name, the same voice, the same ways and manners of actions. But there is something you need to even learn about our new PM, because this one is the Punisher. This one doesn't want anybody that is working against Biafra, especially the government of Biafra, Biafra Republic government in exile. He doesn't want anybody that is working against this government structure to go unpunished. That is why his name is the Punisher. The past leaders that we have, or the leaders in prison, may have had a different way of handling saboteurs. But you see this present prime minister, this one, na Punisher na be name. When you cross, you go crush one time. You know the match break. I don't talk am. So make una listen for Ndi Thomas Ekwekwe. Make una listen to wetin BRGI dey do and the way US government take dey see wetin they do and how they take dey rate them to know how effective wey dem be. But for you, wey dey for comment section, they write something else. Say, oh, how are you guys going to do it? Oh, Biafra, evil people, this and that. Hey, you see, everybody acknowledges and sees the work that we are doing. So if you don't see it and if you don't understand it, we can't help you because you are still inside the toilet. Maybe when you come out from the toilet, you will understand what we're actually doing here. But those that understands the political arena, the game that needs to be played, international pressure, they have understood that we have successfully weaponized US foreign policies against Nigeria. We have activated international pressure on Nigeria. Their military formations, so their government and everything. That is why you can see that they now rush to come and pay $9 million to lobbies. Like Offiong, Professor Offiong explained before. Their money that they are paying is not going to change any narrative. The lobbies that they pay this money should not be blamed because they are working on their own and somebody bring business to them. They have to collect the money and chop. They work or they deliver, it's left to them. They don't work or they don't deliver, it's left to them. After all, Nigeria already paid $2.7 million in 2025, October. It did not yield fruit. So if they now decided to come and step up now to look for another $9 million, you know, now your money where they for you is take develop school for you. Now your money where they for take build steady power supply. Now your money where they for take build road for you. Now in they use come say may they can't lie give American government say there is no Christian genocide. When all of you know and understand that there is Christian genocide and it is very, very high in Nigeria now. Let me ask you, how many people were killed yesterday in Benue State? How many people were killed yesterday in Zamfara? How many people were killed yesterday in Plateau? How many people were killed yesterday in Borno? Which community has the terrorists taken over, which they pursue everybody out? Is in Sokoto. This $9 million, is it not enough to use this $9 million to buy weapons that will destroy the terrorists? Okay. Just listen to the effectiveness of the work of BRGI. And as this is playing, I will be posting the link for those that want to join the studio to join to come and aid their views.
On the other side, Biafra-linked groups are also lobbying Washington, calling for sanctions, recognition, and even future military and oil deals. I mean, how seriously are these groups being taken in U.S. policy circles?
Well, serious enough that you've got people like Ted Cruz, who is the conservative senator who chairs the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. He's a big supporter of the Biafra government in exile. He's a big supporter, actually, of the Somaliland region in East Africa. And Mike Pompeo, who was the former Secretary of State, and that was under Trump's first term. And Pompeo is a very devout evangelical. Combining the two things, where they're They're talking about the rights of the people of Southeast Nigeria, and also this issue again of protecting Christians. So yeah, they've got a lot of sway within the Republican Party. And a lot of this stuff, Charles, is about sentiment as much as anything else. It's often free from, shall we say, established facts and evidence. It's a sense that these are evangelical Christians who put that belief above all else. And the Biafran lobbyists have been extremely effective over probably 20 years, working through the religious right in the US, which brings together a lot of these evangelical groups, and they're big financiers of the Republican Party. And as the Republican Party has moved to the right, so have they. And they've become a big mobilizer of votes for the Republican parties. So there are people who are evangelical Christians who may not like the look of Donald Trump and his various comments about women and all the rest of it, but they bury that concern for their the greater good, which they say is the man is for Christians. He's for evangelical Christians, and in that case, we're going to give him our support. So Trump, the evangelical base is absolutely critical for Trump, and that's, I think, it accounts for some of the success of the Biafra lobby in the US.
Well, that's a very illuminating assessment from you. And in that context, Patrick, I mean, is that...
Said that is a very important success for the Biafran lobby in Washington, D.C., the Biafra Republic government in exile. While some other people who are actually Biafrans, who claims that they are Biafrans, they are actually the ones fighting the success of BRJ. And they cannot enumerate or even count the blessings that God has given them from this result, because they don't know what politics is all about. They think that it is about IPOB, IPOB, one family. IPOB, IPOB, one family. Holy, 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 Nnamdi Kanu is another savior. They think that it is about carrying the biggest flag. No, it is about diplomacy. Enter inside, connect the dots, touch the tables, then wait for reaction of what you have cooked in and see it happen. It is happening here. Listen.
there a risk that fringe or poorly sourced claims could begin to shape US foreign policy towards Nigeria? So Nigeria's internal security crisis is no longer just a domestic issue. It's become a high-stakes battle for influence in Washington, according to the UK-based Africa Confidential, a respected newsletter that's built a global reputation for original reporting and analysis of key political and security developments across Africa. As competing narratives over violence and claims of a Christian genocide gain traction in the US, the Nigerian government and Biafran secessionist groups are now locked in an aggressive lobbying war, each seeking the attention and...
I want to come back, because while they are talking, they are now confidently okay
Africa
to play
policy towards Nigeria.
They are now they are now confidently okay to play the genocidal war video. Can you see now? Can you see how far BRGIE has brought Nigeria out? Nigeria can now play the genocidal war of Biafra videos on their Arise television while they are discussing Biafra Republic government in exile. Videos that they never wanted to be played on Nigerian television. Today they are playing it. As they are playing, they are showing you how we fought the war. And they are connecting the dots to today's event. Let us listen again.
U.S. internal security crisis is no longer just a domestic issue. It's become a high-stakes battle for influence in Washington, according to the UK-based Africa Confidential, a respected newsletter that's built a global reputation for original reporting and analysis of key political and security developments across Africa. As competing narratives over violence and claims of a Christian genocide gain traction in the US, the Nigerian government and Biafran secessionist groups are now locked in an aggressive lobbying war, each seeking the attention and support of President Trump. According to Africa Confidential, alarmed by President Trump's threat last November to go into Nigeria guns a-blazing, the Tinubu administration has moved quickly to counter separatist claims, signing a multi-million-dollar lobbying contract with a Republican-linked firm to shape U.S. policy on visas, military cooperation, trade, and religious freedom. The scale of Abuja's effort far outweighs that of the pro-Biafra groups, who are also lobbying Washington, pushing for sanctions, diplomatic recognition, and even future military and oil agreements. So what's really at stake in this foreign lobbying battle? And how could it shape Nigeria's security, sovereignty, and international standing? Well, for more on
Yes. For more on the show, I'm going to bring my ministers into the house and let them come and be the one to have the conversation with you. Arise TV analyst. I have my ministers in the house. These are renowned ministers of BRGI. Please, ministers of BRGI and reps and admin, check the reps and admin platform on Telegram. I've posted the link there. You can join the studio to come and air your views. Welcome in my minister. I can see Minister Emilike, Minister Prof. Academic Ines, Ben Nwabo, and network just knocked Rage and Fury out. Rage and Fury, I actually wanted you to speak first before network will slap your device. And now network just did. I hope you can reconnect because of your network so that you can go first. So I welcome you, my ministers, to the house, and happy to have you all in the studio. Minister Emilike, you may go first. Since you are very busy at work, go first. Welcome to the studio, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, my Minister of Information. I am a great Biafrans, and I am privileged to be on this, session. The issue here is this: this journalist has been trying to say the things that will please their audience in Nigeria and supporters of Nigeria. But maybe I should take you back a little bit to the first genocidal war in 1967 through 1970. And it's my understanding that both sides also consulted lobbyists. I believe Biafra got some lobbyists from Geneva, something like that. But what they don't tell you is the difference between the lobbyists we have then and the lobbyists we are consulting now. Big difference. The lobbyists we are dealing with now is basically taking us to where the spring comes from. The spring from when you go to fetch water, you want to fetch water from the spring, from the rock where the spring water comes out. That's where you go. and they say that's the best kind of water. And I compare this to taking us to the spring where the water actually comes out. And these are heavyweights in the uh, Republican Party, and so there is no comparison between the lobbyists that Biafrans had in 67 to 70 and now. And not only that, you see, we have been at this for a long time, much longer, even to the point where the president himself had actually taken action because of what has been, exposed to him. You see, what they don't tell you is that we are closer to the president. We are closer to President Trump than they want you to know. I understand that he actually said that Secretary of State, Honorable Rubio, and the Secretary of War, Honorable, his name is very difficult for me to pronounce, but that those two are not close. But that is not true. You see, those two are equally close to the president and also to the members of Congress, specifically members of the Senate. And I go on to say this, that there will never be a time when the people that are speaking on behalf of Nigeria will always tell you the real story. But if you want to understand what's going on, you just have to read between the lines. For example, the interviewer, who is, I believe, a Biafran himself, even commented that the information that he had received from Mr. Smith was a very illuminating piece of information, which means he did not know how deep we have gone into, meeting the people that matter in the United States. So, in that sense, I would say that there's a lot that they do not know and that they do not understand. The fact that we are in there and our prime minister, Ogen Kere, is there, slogging away. They do not understand. It's not just, by the way, it's not just the Republicans. It's also the Democrats. You see, it's difficult, even for the Democrats, to deny the fact that they have supported genocide in the past. It will be very, very difficult for them to deny that. And now that more of them know this, there's also pressure on the Democrats because the people, especially now in the United States, there's an anti-Islam movement. So the Democrats who are supporting Islam basically say, for example, those who have embraced the Islamic mayor of New York, they are now in the hiding because people are beginning to find out, and even it's not just propaganda, the truth that's been said, that's been made, that Islam is not compatible with the West, the Western civilization. And so it will be a tough sell to the American people that the Democrats will be supporting a religion that destroys those who are aligned with the Western way of thinking. And so I strongly believe that the amount of money that Nigeria is spending is much more than what they expect to get. I believe there's much more to that money. It's not just for lobbying America, the Congress to change their narrative. Yeah, they're going to try to change the narrative, but it's just foolishness. It's just foolishness because all they have done, because they've lied several times, and the members of Congress know that they are lying. So now anybody who associates themselves with that lie is basically, charting their way to lose the next election. And so we are in good hands right now, very good hands. So what I would suggest to Biafrans is to give us, the benefit of the doubt. If you have it, just give us the benefit of that and come and do what you can to get us to move forward, because we are not stopping. If you noticed, they've our enemies have tried everything they could to set us back, but 2025 proved that they can't do it. In fact, in 2025, we made more strides than they imagined. And just a couple of days ago, we have a new prime minister who knows the rope. He knows the road now more than anyone else. So come on and join us. You be thankful that you did. And I yield my mic here, dear friends. Thank you very much, my Minister of Information. And congratulations to my Prime Minister, His Excellency, Honorable Ogechukwu Ukere. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, my honorable rep. Thank you so much. And good to have you in the studio.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
sir.
for the invitation. Please, before I go to the next person, Rachel Fury, your network is back. Please, can you rush it up? Rachel Fury?
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister of Information. Greetings to you, all the Honorable Cabinet Ministers of BROGIA. Special greetings to my new Prime Minister, His Excellency Yogi Kere. Honorable Minister of Information, I really want to say a very big thank you for your precise analysis, well-detailed analysis. And one thing I must let Nigeria know is that no matter the millions of dollars they spend that is going to remove graves of those Christians that they kill on a daily basis, no matter the millions of money they spend that will enable any lobbyist firm to lie against the Christian genocide that is the current reality in Nigeria today. So that is just, so let them just go ahead and waste their money. And one thing is that there is this similarity between Iran and the Islamic regime of Iran and their government. Like Nigeria is a younger brother to them, because this Islamic regime of Iran, the Iranians don't have water. They don't have good hospitals. They don't have electricity. They don't even have good standard of living, no infrastructure. But the Islamic regime of Iran, of Ayatollah, does not care about all of that. Rather, it will use the money to sponsor terrorism, sponsor Hezbollah, sponsor Houthis, sponsor Hamas, for the singular purpose of wiping out the children of God, Israelites. Likewise, Nigeria, they are not even interested to use the $9 million to take care of the security of the Nigeria, to make food available for the Nigeria. Hunger is killing a lot of people in Nigeria today. To even create better life, create good roads, network, to create electricity, that is not their priority. Rather, they will use the $9 million to go and fight against Biafra Republic government in exile, from exposing their atrocity, their criminality, their genocide, their terrorism, the terrorists that are backed by the Nigerian government. So you can see the clear similarity. And when you see anybody that is trying to fight against the BRGIA bearing the name of Biafra, know that these are instruments that are being paid by the Nigerian government to attack freedom. So don't get too confused. Nobody should get disturbed about them. Like the likes of Madam Adauti Burafel Ajari. They are doing their work. They are working for the money that Nigeria government has given to them. They have to work for the money. You understand? That is why you see them ranting, shouting, screaming. They are only hustling for their money. Because this $9 million that is being paid now is not going to be used to fight against the likes of Imam Mahmoud or against the likes of Adara Fela, Otimu, Ajarere, or against the likes of Trauma, or against the likes of the Ogogoro specialist in France. What is her name again? I forgot the name of Ethiopia. You don't even remember, I can't remember the name of people. Or the names of those that are in asylum camp. They are not going to use this money to fight against those people. Rather, they will use the money to fight against Biafrans that are fighting for their freedom through the Biafra Republic government exile. This $9 million is to fight against the Prime Minister, His Excellency Ogechukwu Kere, to fight against the BRGIA lobbyist firm headed by Elias Derasulis, to fight against Amanda Biri. You understand? So Nigeria know who is fighting against them. So at this very point, anybody that thinks that it's a Biafra, but he doesn't know the people that are fighting for the freedom of Biafra, that person is just only deceiving himself, not Biafrans. You understand? The genuine Biafrans, faithful Biafrans know who is fighting for their freedom. And Nigeria is always pointing out this stuff from time to time. So that is the way it is. So once again, I really want to say a very big thank you to all my BROGI. In fact, you are the best thing that has ever happened to us. You all the cabinet, you are very smart. In fact, coming up with this election to appoint a new prime minister is the best thing that we have even received lately. Because the thing is that prime minister is not the birthright of one particular person. The reason why prime ministers and president or leaders are elected or appointed is to see somebody that is carrying out the day-to-day activities of the Biafran people, carrying out the day-to-day governance of the Biafran people. That is the reason for an active prime minister. We are not here to run the kind of Nigerian government whereby a president is incapacitated by death or by detention or by sickness, and they will crown another person to be ruling on behalf of that. That's not the kind of Biafra that we seek. So prime minister or president or whatever you call it is not a birthright of one particular person. We love all our leaders. When they come back, they will still resist. If they still wish to serve the Biafra people, we are still ready to vote for them massively, and they will resume to do what they know how to do best. So thank you very much for this decision that you made. I yield the mic here, Honorable. I remain registered.
Thank you, Wachineke. Thank you so much for your time. And I'm saying a very big thank you to the network for allowing you to give your submission. All right, we come to his academic highness. Prof, over to you, sir.
Ndewo nwa Chineke.
There were our
Can you hear
honorable
me?
prof. Yes, sir, we can hear you. Right on, sir.
Ndewo. Ndewo. Nwanna Jihu Bibo. Can you see me or can't you see me?
No, your camera, you have a background
Sir?
video photo there, so the video is not showing. You have a photo there that is, yeah.
Okay, no problem. Let us leave it in that way. No problem. I wanted to congratulate you in premise. The Biafrans, the Biafran Republic government in exile, our leaders from Ab initio, Ojukwu, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Simon Ekpa, our prime minister now that we have, our lobbyists, our legal luminaries at international stage, every lovers of freedom that really support what we are doing. I want also to let Biafran people to understand that the world is changing. And as the world is changing, Biafran people supposed to align themselves at the happening world. Very, very important. Biafran people must align themselves to the happening world. And thanks to BRGIE, we are with the homongous America. We are with the homongous United States. Very, very, very important. Many people thought that when America said under the government or the leadership of Donald Trump that America is leaving the United Nations, they thought that America under Donald Trump was wrong. No, America is not wrong by leaving the United Nations. You know why? America is the one and was the one that created the United Nations. America fought emphatically and practically against the League of the Nations from 1918, because the First World War started from 1914.
Yes.
It was the League of the Nations that caused the First World War. League of the Nations was headed by Britain. British people that are the people that colonized our own territory and called us useless name Nigeria. But America was compounding itself within those arco temporales. And it was America that created the first liberation for the Europeans in 1919. And there was the Peace of Versailles. And after the Peace of Versailles, the Europeans were being condemned for what you call bellic reparations. And from there, they started repairing themselves, to the time that they started, itching for the Second World War. That was the time you hear about the likes of Benito Mussolini, the likes of Adolf Hitler. But America was one side watching them, just as they are watching this all these jihadists. They think that Sheikh Gumi has sense. Sheikh Gumi has no sense. Then the Americans were watching this League of the Nations and all these Europeans that we are spearheading the things. After 1919, they watched them till when Hitler said he wanted to take charge of the whole world. He started killing the Hebrews, buying the Hebrews. They just put one allegation on the head of Hebrews. It was so devastating. Now, to the extent that the Americans went back in 1942 in a place they called San Francisco. But before you went to the place you called San Francisco, there was what was named as Brecton Woods. Brecton Woods was a kind of intellectual gathering that made all American intellectuals. When we say American intellectuals, it means everybody that we have for proliferation of science and technology, especially in politics, to gather together in a forest that was called Breakton Woods. They gathered there. The whole intellectuals you had in America, both those that scampered from Britain, they gathered there and started planning for what you call the reshaping of the world against League of the Nation. It was inside Bretton Woods in 1942 that what happened, that they brought about the shape of the Organization of the United Nations. And I know that Winston Churchill was being averted to become a part. And the likes of Mao Zedong was also averted. And also the likes of the Stalin was also averted to making sure that these people become part of what is going to be the reshaping of the New World Order. This thing that happened in 1942 is happening again today. But many people are not getting the sense. Let us make fast forward. Donald Trump has opted out from United Nations because United Nations is no more or no longer making use of what that was written in 1942 that made the United Nations to become the game changer in 1945 that led to the liberation of people that were being persecuted, like the likes of the State of Israel, because the first operation of the United Nations was the creation of the State of Israel, 1947. 1948 was the UN first declaration that led to the creation of the State of Israel. Now, it is happening in our own side. I don't want us to dilagare in history, but today, America that created United Nations is with us. And they know that we are the people that can give them that similitude, that thing that is needed for the world to be in peace. Not that we want to give anything to America. But that exactitude of the world peace is seen in the Biafran architecture and also in the Biafran demography and also in the Biafran geography. That is the reason and why what we did in BRGIE today is exactly what America needed, because America needed a serious government that they can relate with so that there will be the peace in the world in accordance to the peace keeping agreement of 1948. So, brothers and sisters and lovers of freedom, we gathering here is not in case, but it is a proof that Biafra is number one. If Biafra only lobbied the US as somebody that is drowning and is raising one hand and saying, save me, with only $65,000, save me, in a year. But Nigeria came and spent 9 million, above $9 million in saying, don't save that person that is drowning. What does it tell the people that are listening to us? It tells us that the one that is drowning must be saved. And that is the replica of America. That is the reason why America chased away the colonizers, namely British people and French people. From 1949, 1950, it called it the process of decolonization. of Africa. Am I lying, Honorable?
No, sir, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Okay, it was America that told and forced the colonizers to decolonize Africa. But you know what happened? The French and the British people, they didn't want to leave Africa. They created the Mujahids, what you call the Fulanese, inside Africa, so that they can never leave African territory. The worst is French government. The French government created what you call seigneurage, which meant that all those colonized Francophonia Africans, they don't print their money, but it is French government that print their monies, and those African colonized areas pay seigneurage, which is more than the tax. It's more than national tax to the state of France. Whereas the British people, they dig underground pipelines. They know where the pipelines are, and they use that to divert economic stabilization of their colonized territory. And that is the reason and why the America of today, through the Biafra and AES, are telling the world that, look, we can make this world a better place. I don't want to talk too much, but I want to let our people to understand, just like my Prime Minister, duly sworn in, said, and my Minister of Information said, that we are here to collaborate and corroborate this world a better place. Diplomatically, you get your own, I get my own, we get our life, and everything goes in accordance to osmosis. Thank you, my minister. I yield.
Thank you, Wachineke. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate splendidly. Thank you. Senator Ben Nwabo, are you there? Mazi Ben Nwabo, are you there? Are you ready to speak? Mazi Ben Nwabo, are you there? You're not ready? Senator Endless. Senator Endless, go ahead. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Uh, Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Am I being heard clear?
Yeah,
Thank you
go
so
ahead.
much. With all protocol observed, I thank you so much for this lecture this evening, and I use this opportunity to congratulate our PM, Ogechukwu Nkere, and I say, may God be with him. God will lead him, and he will lead us to the end to actualize what we are looking for. Then, all these people, I want to pass a message to them. One, they were not good students when MNK was teaching what he was teaching. Neither were they attentive when ex-prime minister was speaking and teaching all the things that he taught. One, they should know that this this liberation is not tied to one person. The Biafra liberation is not said that it is going to be this particular person that will bring it. And where we are now, right from the beginning, right from the onset, from our internal leader, Chukwu Emeka Odumegwu, we have not, till now, we have not gotten to this extent that at the White House, Biafra is being discussed. And I want to assure you that these people like Ajere, and the rest of them. Look at him very well. Even this might be, you know, partial Fulani. I'm telling you the truth. And anyone that is not dancing to the tune that we are now, know that that person either he is bought or he has not been part of us right from the beginning. I'm telling you the truth. You know, you see that Sisi Ono went and married a Fulani person and begat the lady that our eternal leader married. You know, who knows what he was passing through before now. And I want to assure these people that remember, only when MNK was speaking that you will hear him mention uh, the leader of Ambazonia. The Ambazonians, their leader was incarcerated, and me, I myself, I didn't know. Only when MNK is speaking and when their leader, which we knew as their president, when he is speaking, before you know that there is someone behind bars. Huh? Why should you go and be telling the world? You say you, and how can you leave someone that is behind bars to be leading you? That means you are a fool. You don't know anything. Because one, Durex, they don't know what Durex is all about. When they said someone was, was doing something under Durex, when someone is incarcerated, everything that he will be saying will be according to the people that incarcerated him. They will be giving him words to speak. I can remember even that time that MNK was kidnapped newly. People, XPM was, trying to be. I was that we're calling, saying, no, 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 this person might be speaking under Durex. We shouldn't be listening to anything that is coming out from there. If you check his videos, if you are able to get some of them, the ones that I spoke, you will see that you hear what I said that time. There is no way that we will be here outside seeking on how to get them released and get our liberation, and you want them to be involved. It doesn't work. Any place, it doesn't work. So everybody that is now saying no, 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 we are not doing is just because they don't even know what the charter is saying. They didn't read the charter, neither were they attentive that time. They thought that is only a book that you can just buy and read. They don't know that this time is just the practicality. Want to practicalize what is there. It is now. It is not for fancy, you know. And now, and one of the things that is making them to do this is because of that letter that we brought out, which I said earlier that maybe I don't even know if it came directly from him. If it does, it might be under Durex, and you just remember the wordings, listen to the wordings, so you know that XPM can never write such things. Anyway, I'm busy now. Let me just take it down here so that other people will speak. Thank you so much, my information minister. I love you so much, and I believe that God will lead us to the end. Thank you. Oh, Biafra.
Oh, hey, Biafra. Thank you, Wachineke. Thank you so much. Ben Nwabo, are you ready to speak?
Yes, sir. Are you hearing me, sir?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you very much. Earlier on, I wasn't getting through. I was saying something, but unfortunately, no one could hear me. Thank you very much, my able information minister, and thank you for all those who have spoken. And I also want to say big congratulations to our newly elected Prime Minister, Ogochukwu Nkere. Because one thing is sure, our leaders, they have left their footprints in the sands of time. They left what they spoke, they left their speeches, they left their sermon, They left every preaches, every words they say before us. So it's very, very important for every one of us who have heard it to obey and listen and follow instructions. So that is why we have gone too far. We have becoming where we are coming from was very, very far, and we're almost close to the place. So where we are getting to is more nearer to where we are coming from. So the analysis, I'll say kudos to the analysis which you did earlier on during this very speech and out of yesterday. Unfortunately, I slept off. I was even, about to sleep for when I said, okay, let me say something today. Thank you very much, my Minister of Information, for all your speeches and what you have been doing. And may He, the Most High, be with you. May the Most High also be with the whole cabinet, present cabinet, that are standing firm, that are piloting this very issue to make sure that we get what we are looking for. Our leader has done a great work and job upon every one of us. Those people who cannot comprehend, anyway, it's left for them if they will repent and come back, because this time is no-go area, and the Punisher is here. So I'm very happy that that baton is already in his hand. The whip is already in his hand to do the justice against those who think that they want to derail us back. There is no any other avenue to say, oh, we want to listen to our former Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. Oh, this is what he said. He said we should be contributing money. No, that will not happen. That is why they are crying. That is why they are tears. They will cry us a river, and the river will not be full, because their tears will be for eternity. They will be forgotten already, because those who are chosen, they are here to mount that podium so that they will continue to support our present Prime Minister, who was just elected a few days ago. And we pray that as he continues, everything will not be wavered. These journalists, the analysis that they have been making, you don't expect good things to come from the mouth of a British journalist. I'm sure it's a British anyway, so we know what they have done. Every evil they have done against Biafrans from 1967 to 70 for that Biafra Nigerian war. This is time of recompense. Also the time of recompense to all the saboteurs, because the time has come, the hot iron, the hot rod will be placed upon them. I want to say thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. I yield my mic. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Wachineke. Mary, over to you. No, Mary, hold on. Before you, we had Amaka Joyce. Are you ready? Amaka Joyce. Are you ready, Amaka? Amaka, are you ready? Amaka, are you ready? Amaka is not ready. Okay. Mary, go ahead. Mary, are you there? Mary, are you there? Mary, are you there? Mary is not ready. Nonso, Mazi Nonso, are you ready? Mazi Nonso, can you hear me? Amaka, try again. If you can hear me, go ahead. No, network carry and promote. Nonso, PT. Nonso, PT, can you hear me? They're having network issues. Mazi Nonso.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
Mazi Nonso,
I
go
don't know
ahead.
if I don't know
Go
if
ahead.
I'm coming out, sir. Am I
Go
coming
ahead.
out? Am I audible?
Yes, go
Okay,
ahead. Go ahead.
okay. I have to reduce my device from the other end. I'm sorry, I was listening from my device from the other end. Congratulations once again, my Prime Minister. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister of Information, and everyone in the studio. I can see Rage and Fury, His Academic Highness. I can see my big daddy, MNK, Mazi Ben, Owaboy. I see everybody. You know, today is is a very happy day. You know, we are very, very happy, and the congratulations must trend and continue. Our Prime Minister, Mazi Nnamdi, we say congratulations, sir. Today, we are very, very happy for what we have witnessed. Haven't seen what we have gone through all this while, holding at the lines and making sure that we are able to come to, you know, this a wonderful, you know, glorious, you know, conclusion, you know, making it possible that we now have a prime minister, not an acting prime minister, but now we have a prime minister who is now speaking, you know, on behalf of the Biafran people in exile. So we are very, very happy, and we say congratulations once more. So my simple message to our brothers and sisters out there: you have not seen that the shaft has already been separated from the wheat itself. So, and now you will now understand, including those who has been sending you. This is not time for everyone to understand that we are not playing, that we have one government. Before, what they have been using to deceive many of you is that they came up with different kind of groups. They came up with different types of names using to deceive many of you. I was watching. Is there anywhere you will use your back to go? Is there anywhere that you will use back to get to your destination? No. They came up with deputy. They came up with this. They came up with that. Now we have a prime minister. Now I want to see those mad people, those bunch of miscreants. Let me see them now. Let them do their own and answer prime minister. We are not playing. We are not joking. I pity for those of you who allowed yourself to be used, to be deceived at a particular time that we're supposed to use our mental toughness, our critical thinking to understand and know exactly where you people were following professor, following doctor, following names. Is that the reason why we are here? When our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was here with us, did he come to tell us his degree, his professional degree, and this and that? You people don't have sense. When our former prime minister was here with us, was he boasting or bragging and telling us that this is? But you people does not even use wisdom to listen, to understand. Today we have our prime minister in the name of Mazi Nnamdi. Look at what he has been doing, even when he was acting. Thank God today. Congratulations once again, Biafrans all over the world. We now have a prime minister. Let me see how they will now, who they will contract, or who are they going to call, or this and let me see how. Because you see this government now, it is now more formidable. Our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told them that. He told us also that they have 20 billion. They are just spending half of the money, which is 9 million. 9 million minus 20 million dollars. How much is now remaining? We have not seen anything. But because we have been standing in the path of truth, that is what our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told us. He said that we should stand in the path of truth at all times. That is the only thing that has been speaking for us, saving us, helping us, and that is what we continue to do. We continue to do the needful. It doesn't really matter. No matter how they try to, we know where we are following. The template is already in our hand. If you like, you sabotage your future for nothing till 20 years to come. It's a lie. Biafra is here. So I want to say thank you very much. Let me just hold the mic, because I think other people are also in the studio to also add their voice. Thank you very much once again, our Minister of Information. We really say more ables to you. And I say, may God continue to bless you and increase you in your wisdom, because the informations that you are bringing out is really making the zoo to panic. Thank you very much. I'll eat the mic here.
There were Mazi, there were. Thank you so much. And we have Honorable Betty, Honorable Mary. Mary, try your network. Is it okay now?
Yes, sir. Thank you
Okay.
very
Go
much.
ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, our PM. Yes, congratulations, sir. I'm so happy. Believe me, we are so happy that now we have the head, because there is no any government or any organization where you would just lead, without just only leg, without head. So, especially me as Mary, I'm so happy. May God Almighty continue to bless you and protect you too. And all our ministers and our honorable, the Brgie, and our alternate, all our lobby, our soldiers, the goodwill of Biafran freedom. I'm so happy in this time because this 2026.
So network picked Mary out. Sorry, Mary. Honorable Amaka, are you there? Amaka, can you speak now? Amaka Joyce. You're all having network issues. Sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, you're back now.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hold on. Before you continue, please let me explain something because there's some people who don't understand. Um, I just got a message. On Sunday is on Sunday is on Sunday is 18th of January 2026, and we have this town hall meeting that was scheduled on the flyer. This flyer is not new. Yeah, because some people are saying acting prime minister on the flyer. It's not a new flyer. It's flyer that was done since I think 2 weeks ago. Our prime minister was elected in, I think it's not up to 48 hours now. So this is an old flyer that was out for 2 weeks ago, ahead of next tomorrow's town hall meeting. So it's not a new flyer. So going forward, as our new flyers are coming out, it will carry the updated office of our new PM. So when you see this flyer, don't get confused, okay? Because the flyer is already in circulation for 2 weeks now. That's what I want everybody to understand. They will. Mary, network don't carry you again. Sorry. Honorable Amaka, try your own network, whether it will allow you to speak now. Amaka Joyce. Amaka Joyce. You don't get luck. Oh. Honorable Betty, try your own and see. Honorable Betty, are you there?
Are you hearing
Yes,
me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I greet Biafrans, greet everyone, and my regards to our leaders. I congratulate my newly elected Prime Minister Mazi Nnamdi. I pray that God Almighty will guide him, just like Solomon when God asked him, "What do I do for you?" Solomon said that God should give him knowledge and wisdom. I pray that the wisdom will increase. God will anoint you with a special oil on your head, and with the support of God and all Biafrans who are genuinely fighting for freedom, you will not go wrong. We are highly and strongly behind you. I also thank our powerful information minister. Nigeria will be praying that you are their own information minister because you are second to none. When you were saying something yesterday in your video that you are nobody, I rejected it for you. You are powerfully somebody that nobody can pay the price of your cost. If you are displayed in a shop, they can never buy somebody like you. And I thank God that I work with you. Thank you, Biafrans. And I pray that all Biafrans will pull their strength and support our newly elected Prime Minister Mazi Ogenkere. I tackled Dr. Joy Irobi on her nasty display on Facebook. So wherever we see them, we will tackle them. We don't owe anybody any explanation. If you are genuinely fighting for Biafra, you should know that this is the time for you to wake up and do the needful. Thank you, Biafrans, and thank you, my information minister. Carry go. Ndewo.
Thank you, Honorable Betty. Thank you. Okay, Honorable Mary, carry the mic so that you can wrap up before network slap your phone again. Thank you. You see, I'm network don't even slap him. Network the vex for Honorable Mary today. Okay, Honorable Amaka, is your mic open? Can you go? Network slap Amaka. So I dey see three Amaka device here. You don't carry Mary commode already. Network they too crazy today. Let's network allow my honorables to have the mic, please. Honorable Mary, can you speak?
Yes, sir.
Go
Can
ahead.
you hear me?
Yes, make them fast before network slap your phone again. Go ahead.
Yes, I just want to make fast. Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Mommy Betty. Yes, sir. Our PM. I cannot even continue to say, I cannot even stop, saying, may the nature continue to bless you. May the God Almighty, because what they did not expect, you are not looking for Biafra, because the Biafran spirit choose you. Now the people, they look for you. You are not like Arabo Fulani, where they send. And now what is happening to the rest? So God, sir, don't change, because what I'm trying to say, your word is action. And I pray, make the US, Donald Trump, America, the attorney, our lobby, whatever you guys will open your mouth and said about Biafra. May the God Almighty, may the God of Biafra, may the God of innocence continue to, focus wisdom in your essence, in your brain, and the word of wisdom, the word of grace. When you tell them, they will stand for it and they will listen, and it will take them far, far away to reason why Biafran want to be free. And this is my wish, and this is the wish of the wisdom of Biafrans. So we love you, sir, and God love you more. And I want to tell Biafra too, we are in here, and we have leader, we tough, we understand there is no sentiment. Our APM understand that the freedom, you don't buy sentiment. You don't need to look face. You don't need to know whether your mother is there. If your father liked freedom, he will stand with you. If your sister love freedom, he want to be free, he will stand with you. He will stand with the truth. So I understand that our leader, our PM, is that kind of man where God choose. So Biafra is not just by him. What I mean is by you funding, so that we will do the needful. Because this 2020, 2026 we enter now, end of our struggle, of our crying,
Network don't vex, carry Honorable Mary come out. Amaka, are you there? Can you speak? Make we see whether your network will allow you. Amaka Joyce, unmute yourself and speak. Amaka, go ahead. Amaka, go ahead and speak. Hardcore, go ahead.
Hello, sir.
Brown up before network slap you
Yes,
again.
yes. So it's not this the end of it is not coming free. It's responsibility coming up. Because we remember now when in Nigeria, the whole world now know we have PM. So they will come and you have to stand with it. You have to defend it. You have to stand with your feet. And that costs money. That costs money because the ending is not given. It's not just joke. It's tough. So please, my people, what did I mean is that we need to fund. You don't need to wait anybody. You don't need to call any rich man. If you know that your freedom is important to all of us, we have to do the needful. It doesn't matter how much you have. It doesn't matter anything. The funding is the cocoa now. Because international war, I will be looking. And the evil, they will stand up. And the right thing to do now, you to fund so that they will weaken their wings. We will cut it off. So, sir, thank you very much for what you're doing to you to accept the responsibility. Thank you very much. Our information minister, may God Almighty bless you. Continue to flog them left and right because that is what they need. There is no sentiment. Our soldiers, our defense, I know those ones they are choosing one, God of children of heaven. May God Almighty continue to bless them. And so shall he be. He say, thank you. Thank you, everyone. I
Say
need
thank
my
you,
mind.
thank you. Amaka Joyce, try to speak, whether network will allow you now. Amaka, the network is not allowing Amaka. Hardcore, try to speak.
Yes, yes. Am I coming out?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Greetings to all Biafrans. Good morning from my end. I want to thank everyone for being present this morning or this night, depending on your time zone. You know, my heart is full of joy since after the election processes. You know, I feel like someone that bought a new car, that every now and then you open window to check out to know if it's still where you park it. I don't know about you, but this is how my heart feels. You know, this is what we are expecting for a long time. Because come to think of it, those who are busy backbiting and talking trash online, how will it be that our prime minister elected during his time of waiting for PM to come out, that he has a communication or conventional agreement that requires a signature from a prime minister? Then are we going to still be waiting till when? When we have our charter, we have our bylaws and our constitution. So I want to thank all the cabinet members for doing the right thing. We have proven to the world that yes, we are capable of ruling ourselves. We are capable of presenting a government that is suitable and adaptable to the system of the world governance. That's what we have done. Without fight, without quarrel, the election was successful peace. You know? So I want to thank you all for all your efforts, all this while, holding the banner, holding the gate. Since 2024 till today, the battle was on. And I want to assure you, from what has just happened, this is a new front that we have just opened. And that new front will bring a tremendous result that all of us will be seeing soon. Because the US, who are the people we are dealing with, they want to see something that is workable, something that is practically well organized. And that is the government we are into. And for those saboteurs who do not want to repent, I don't want to say a word, but this year, because we are going to be touching you both up and down. No mercy again. We cannot allow anyone to destroy or draw us back again in this 2026. Anybody who have a soft mind for the saboteurs, who are friendly to the saboteurs, should warn them and stay away from them before they will corrupt your mind. Because even your Bible says that evil communication kills good manner. Why will we be interacting with them when they have stubbornly decided to choose their path? We are going to move ahead this year and nobody's bringing us back. Mazi Nnamdi, my Honorable Prime Minister, I want to encourage you, sir. Every stone they throw at you, pick it and continue to build. Do not turn it back to them. Continue to build. But when they cross the line, there will be no mercy again. Kudos to you, sir. Hold on, Biafra loves you. We stand gidigba with you. And in this process we are in now, it is open and real assured that we are going home soon. Because America need a hand that is permanently strong, that will have a check with them. And that which you have done, we give you that power. And we are going to follow you till the end. There's no going back. Love you all. My able information minister, you are doing amazingly well. Mazi Nnamdi. Keep the fire burning. I know it is not easy, but just keep the fire burning because we are there already. Thank you to all the Biafra women who, out of everything, sometimes they will leave their family, they will be on the line, on Zoom, on Twitter, and everything, contributing. Thank you, and God will bless you. God will continue to strengthen you. Provide for all the pockets that is given and the ones that will give more. Because right now, we need a J and a Gemma. A J and a Gemma. We cannot fight battle with talk. No. Every Saturday, no matter how little it is, come and donate. Donate. That is what we need now. You can see it vividly. The little we are putting in place is yielding fruit. And look at those who are fighting our enemies. Look at the huge amount they are pushing in. Imagine when we increase our tempo financially, what we are going to achieve more. I don't want to go far because I'm already on the way. I thank you all. Man, I seem to Ogadi Korwe. Ogadi Korwe. Mbezi Chuku. Yenyanyi Biafra. Mbe Chukwu Abịama. Gebera nyi hai na yo ya o. Umunne mada na mba. Ogadi Korwe. Mana nye kwere goro ge Chukwu kama. Ge Chukwu nkere. Ndi lobasi aleka okwu Chukwu geme. Asim no gadi kolu ebube. Ogadi. Unyada namba. Ogadi kolu ebube. Airborne! 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 And in the end, all must hail Biafra. I love you all.
Ndewo Mazi, Ndewo Mazi Akon, Ndewo to everyone. Thank you for all our ministers that have spoken. And those at network didn't allow them to speak, please, you have the opportunity to speak again. We have to wrap it up now. Tomorrow is our fundraising, and on Sunday is a town hall meeting. Please make it up to the program and be punctual so that we can make it done and go in time. I salute all of you.
Biafra-linked groups are also lobbying Washington, calling for sanctions, recognition, and even future military and oil deals. I mean, how seriously are these groups being taken in U.S. policy circles?
Well, serious enough that you've got people like Ted Cruz, who is the conservative senator who chairs the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. He's a big supporter of the Biafra government in exile. He's a big supporter, actually, of the Somaliland region in East Africa. And Mike Pompeo, who was the former Secretary of State, and that was under Trump's first term. And Pompeo is a very devout evangelical Christian, and so is Cruz, and they're combining the two things. Where they're talking about the rights of the people of Southeast Nigeria, and also this issue again of protecting Christians. So yeah, they've got a lot of sway within the Republican Party. And a lot of this stuff, Charles, is about sentiment as much as anything else. It's often free from, shall we say, established facts and evidence. It's a sense that these are evangelical Christians who put that belief above all else. And the Biafran lobbyists have been extremely effective over probably 20 years, working through the religious right in the US, which brings together a lot of these evangelical groups, and they're big financiers of the Republican Party. And as the Republican Party has moved to the right, so have they. And they've become a big mobilizer of votes for the Republican parties. So there are people who are evangelical Christians who may not like the look of Donald Trump and his various comments about women and all the rest of it, but they bury that concern for the greater good, which they say is the man is for Christians. He's for evangelical Christians, and in that case, we're going to give him our support. So Trump, the evangelical base is absolutely critical for Trump, and that's, I think, it accounts for some of the success of the Biafra lobby in the US.
Well, that's a very illuminating assessment from you. And in that context, Patrick, I mean, is there a risk that fringe or poorly sourced claims could begin to shape US foreign policy towards Nigeria? So Nigeria's internal security crisis is no longer just a domestic issue. It's become a high-stakes battle for influence in Washington, according to the UK-based Africa Confidential, a respected newsletter that's built a global reputation for original reporting and analysis of key political and security developments across Africa. As competing narratives over violence and claims of a Christian genocide gain traction in the US, the Nigerian government and Biafran secessionist groups are now locked in an aggressive lobbying war, each seeking the attention and support of President Trump. According to Africa Confidential, alarmed by President Trump's threat last November to go into Nigeria guns a-blazing, the Tinubu administration has moved quickly to counter separatist claims, signing a multi-million-dollar lobbying contract with a Republican-linked firm to shape U.S. policy on visas, military cooperation, trade, and religious freedom. The scale of Abuja's effort far outweighs that of the pro-Biafra groups, who are also lobbying Washington, pushing for sanctions, diplomatic recognition, and even future military and oil agreements. So what's really at stake in this foreign lobbying battle, and how could it shape Nigeria's security, sovereignty, and international standing?